The Commons is a mixed-use residential proposal for 95 Musk Avenue in Kelvin Grove, Brisbane. It proposes the revival of the current desolate site into a mixed-use residential and commercial precinct. It features an organic grocery store, a large communal atrium, office space, six student accommodation units, 4 built-to-rent units, and 4 two-bedroom private masonette dwellings. An interdisciplinary approach to this project ultimately produced a multifaceted project outcome. The core elements that define the Commons is transdisciplinary approach, retaining historic architectural merit, finance feasibility, efficient construction methodology, sustainable technologies, and methodical workflows. The existing site contains an architecturally designed complex with accommodation for students by John Dalton Architects and Associates. The large communal hall served as a common area, while the masonettes served as smaller living quarters. Ultimately, the core concept that drives these projects is the intertwining of pragmatic elements of the construction process with the revitalization of Dalton's original architecture. This resulted in a proposal that heroes modularity and modern technologies in form, whilst maintaining a service to the community in the intent of the spaces. This installment of the concept relied upon the 3 core design intents shown here. It was found that taking a majorly prefabricated construction route was an effective method of adhering to the constraints of modifying the heritage property. However, the adaptive reuse for the communal hall and the masonettes was approached differently. A self-supporting structure was developed for vertical expansion of the community hall. This avoided the need to re-engineer the existing structure and as such retained most aspects of significance for the original building. The masonettes will be developed using a facadism approach due to the deteriorating existing internal structure. This will again retain the significant external fabric of the building whilst completely refitting the internal structure with a mezzanine floor system and internal wall layout. CLT provides numerous inherent benefits for construction, however was primarily selected for its brilliant structural properties. At 1/5 of the weight of concrete, CLT is comparable in strength. Particularly with the vertical expansion, this provided a lightweight structural material to build the independent structural form. In addition to providing a number of environmental benefits, this entirely fabricated manufacturing process streamlined the construction process immensely. To execute this project, the design, manufacturing, and construction stages will work very closely together. Communication will be emphasized throughout all stages to ensure efficiency and coordination. The manufacturing process will begin once designs are finalized, and a standardized production line will be set. The final manufactured product will go through many stages of preliminary designs and consultations. This will incur a longer lead time in these stages, and the aim of this is to minimize errors within the design. The construction phase will begin mid-manufacturing, with the site establishment being the first stage. Once the manufactured products are finalized, the construction program will be at the stage where the CLT components will be ready to be installed. This enables the implementation of just-in-time delivery systems that reduce the need for long-term site storage and provide maximum float times for manufacturing. Ultimately, the deciding factor in the feasibility of a project, prefabricated or not, is whether the numbers stack up on paper. Developers have limited control on most inputs in the process with rentals or sales. Costs of capital, planning restrictions, and typically construction costs are controlled by the market or administrative bodies. Contextually, Brisbane has had a vacancy rate at an 8-year low, greatly higher than both Sydney and Melbourne, due to factors such as unemployment bouncing back faster than expected despite JobKeeper ending in March, lower interest rates, and a pandemic-induced migration to Queensland. Using a residual land valuation, it was found that a developer using CLT could afford to pay 18% more in land value than competition using traditional methods. When accounting for time and lumpy cash flows using a DCF, competitive edge increased as interest payments were lowered by a shorter and cheaper construction method. As seen in the tables, a developer can afford to pay $3.5 million when using the modular method as opposed to just $2.5 million, whilst maintaining the same rate of return for investors. Clearly, prefabricated CLT has significant financial benefits to developers, even with the historically low interest rates. The extensive communication between design-based theory, financial capital, and construction management drove the development of the Commons into its fruition. The Commons offers an adaptive project in both construction methodology and in spatial planning, providing practical and enjoyable residential and commercial spaces for the Kelvin Grove community.